Teach, ready to preach. It's been a very interesting time off for better and for worse. Uh, Good vibes is we have some new products to try.
What's about that real quick?
Daddy, how you been, man?
Doing decently. Trying to be back on the upswing of life.
Uh, Same, man. It's been hard. It's been very hard. Wow, that's a snug fit.
Yeah. So, really finally got a care package from me. You care to show off everything that came in it?
So I have one that's chilling in the fridge right now, but at least for tonight, we have Thailand Red Bull. And we have something I've been looking forward to for months and months and months. Rise Arctic Berry. And mind you, I'm so glad they got rid of the Mavericks thing because I've hated where that organization's been going to, and so has its fans. There's actually a controversy that they thought the fans of the Dallas Mavericks were going to destroy the city over Luka Doncic becoming a Laker. Literally. There was almost a riot. These people actually carried a coffin going down for blocks downtown. And that's like New York level crazy, Teach. You have no idea.
Sports ball. Oh,
Well,
trust me, I know how
like I
crazy
said,
sports fans can get when it comes to rioting and their team
well,
not getting their way.
not only that, but just like I'll just say this, right? Now, mind you, I'm in Connecticut, but I border the state of New York. So what if I tell you over the weekend, right? So Friday night I go to pick up food, but there's a lane, there's a, there's four lanes, and it's like two goes to New York side and the other two go to a different part of Connecticut, mainly by Salute.
Grassy.
Um, if I go towards that, it's the bougie towns, and on that side of the highway is Stamford, where the WWE building is. Yeah, probably like an hour, hour and a half down that way. But it was so compact because you had the Met and Yankee game going on, you had the Knick game going on, you got the block parties going on, and then on top of that, you heard about how this, I believe it was a Mexican Navy ship rammed into the Brooklyn Bridge.
What?
Yeah, yeah, apparently that happened too. So it was so bad, the traffic was blocking up all the way into Connecticut. I didn't think it was possible. Yeah, New York traffic blocked all the way back to Connecticut. Horrendous. It's just, ugh, I can't even tell you.
So tonight we're trying Thailand from Red Bull. Anybody catch that?
I mean, Red Bull from
There
Thailand.
you go, you got it. And to give you a little bit of fun facts on this and how it differs, because all of this is in a language we don't know and can't understand. So the Red Bull label originates from Thailand, if you didn't know, where it was known as, and I'm going to butcher this, Patan Dang. Probably butchered that atrociously, so I apologize, which is just Red Bull in Thai. The logo features two red guars, large red bovines, charging at each other against the backdrop of a yellow sun. The logo, along with the drink's original formula, was later adopted by Dietrich Matevich, a Australian businessman, for the international market as Red Bull. The roots.
Not only that, they said they want to carry in the Western market, which they set the standard, they set the tone, if you think about it.
So Red Bull was originally invented in Thailand by Krating Dang, but it was then launched internationally thanks to Dietrich Mateschitz. Dietrich Mateschitz was partnered with Kaleo Udvidia Ocalio Luvidia was the original inventor of Red Bull. Okay, I probably butchered a bunch of those names, and I do dearly apologize if I do. That was not the intent, but I'm trying my best to pronounce names I don't know how to pronounce. I have a
I
dear
hear you.
friend, a dear close friend who grew up in Thailand. He says he has drank many of these in his lifetime. So, from what I found out from him from personal experience, is that Red Bull from Thailand is not promoted the same as it is we know it to be everywhere else. Red Bull, you know, to this day, is promoted as a sports drink. This is more promoted as like a vitamin formula, as like an aftercare formula. He told me these are also highly recommended in Thailand to take after a hangover because these are air quote hangover cures in Thailand. Because there's a lot more B vitamins and a lot more to it than your
Interesting.
regular performance Red Bull.
I mean, it's kinda sounds like an Anthony Bourdain thing,
What?
but what do I know?
What do you mean?
His recipe was, I think it was, open up a can of Coke, eat spicy food, uh, smoke the vitamins, and keep it moving. Something crazy like that. Maybe I could help my uncle. He met him at Mohegan one time. God rest.
Oh, so there are different kinds of Thai Red Bulls, and they all have different kind of benefits. For the example, um,
Interesting.
we have the blue cap, which is just considered regular Red Bull from Thai. There is a
Okay.
black cap. The black cap is the same formula, but it has extra zinc. There's a red cap,
Okay.
which also comes with extra A, B, C vitamins, so extra vitamin B, C, and A. There is one
Not a
which
lot of stuff
is
comes with A, so that's important.
there's a green one, which is car. Don't know what that is. Um, and then there's another one, but it's a little bit more concentrated. The other thing to note about these is that they are not carbonated. They are sweeter and taste more like a concentrated form of the standard Red Bull we do know.
Okay.
There's a lot to look into because honestly, I find this very fascinating in my life to try a product from a different country and
So,
especially where it originated from.
agreed. I've always wondered how, like, something like there's always "Ooh, get the ones from Japan, see how they taste." Now, I think my next question is, you know how there's the tiny gold cans
Hmm.
of Red Bull internationally? Is that different from the bottle that we have in front of us today?
I assume yes. Yes and no. It is a different product, but it's similar. Yep, signed on top and in the front. Fun fact: you are technically the only one with that signing. Technically, well, it's not that part; it's the front of it. It's the front part. I did the.
Yes.
Yep. So I've had two people send me the tubs to be signed. You are now one of two people that have a signed tub, except you have a special signed one where I try to recreate my logo. The other one was just a basic teach. So you and Bizzo have one.
I was about to say there's probably one at your establishment. Yep, so you and Recount, that's a package deal is one. Then there's me and Bizzo. That's freaking phenomenal. So I'm in an exclusive club right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, you will technically always be an exclusive club the way I view it, because all the other ones will just be regular teach signed. You got my logo signed
Well,
by
yeah,
me.
because the only thing that we have that's mutual together that I can think of
Is
is it's the G Fuel Northeast Shaker.
I was gonna say the caffeinated banner,
The caffeinated banner as well, but I'm talking like an actual like product.
which technically we now have to get
Yes,
that updated.
this is a 2 of 2 right here.
Technically, we got to get the new ones, and I would think the new ones would also look better.
I agree. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, shout out to Holly once again for the amazing job she did with their new logo.
indeed so. So, you ready for this? And isn't this only like 30 milligrams of caffeine, if I'm correct?
I'm trying to find a nice like label that shows all this, and I found one, but the one already seems wrong because this is saying there's only 20 milligrams of caffeine in a regular US Red Bull, and I know that's wrong.
Orange Red Bull or our Red Bull?
Western Red Bull, so ours. I would like to find out the actual like full ingredient list of it.
Yes, yes. I think it's called, Dang.
Yep.
Let's see. Wonder if I could get this broken down.
By volume,
There's the
Kratom Ding
called
contains the same amount of caffeine compared to Red Bull sold in the US. Both contain 32 milligrams per 100 milliliters or 80 milligrams caffeine per 250 milliliter can. Kratom Ding contains taurine, glucose, and B vitamins. It is not carbonated. A 250 milliliter can of Kratom Dang imported to Australia contains taurine 1,000 milligrams. Okay, that's different because it's the. Oh, so it looks like the gold can you're talking about is the Red Bull formula, but specifically to Australia.
Hmm. So that's Australian Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't recall the Australian regulations, but I know they are strict on what they import.
Fun fact: Red Bull was introduced in 1976.
That
That's when
seems,
it was introduced to Thailand was 1976. First invented in 1975.
I didn't think it would be 70s. I thought it was late 80s, early 90s. And it must be Western establishment then.
Yeah,
So, you ready for this?
as ready as I'll ever be. This is gonna be interesting. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm psyched on this, man.
This is different.
Whoa. Hold on, grab that smell, man.
It smells Red Bull-y.
I mean, it smells better without the carbonation. It really does.
Oh, that's very Red Bull, and I've been told this is a more concentrated taste and smell and all the above concentrate.
Cheers.
Salute.
Whoa. That's good. That's good.
It's different. It's very different. It almost feels like I'm drinking Red Bull medicine. Like it reminds me of like a medicine bottle. It has a like.
It reminds me of glass Robitussin bottle. Now, obviously, we didn't have glass Robitussin bottles as kids. Maybe our parents did, the generation or maybe another before us. So yes, it does look like cough syrup bottles. But as far as taste, I noticed it's more fruity. You get more fruity note.
It's a lot. Weirdly enough to say, it's way smoother. It goes down a lot more smoothly because there's no carbonation. The flavor is slightly different, but the main like 90% of it is there. Um, it does taste like a
I
Red
want
Bull
to say
that is
this
more
is.
packed with vitamins.
I want to say that this tastes better because you don't have that aftertaste.
Yeah, there isn't as much of a Red Bull aftertaste.
You know how all the Fugazi articles say it has that energy drink aftertaste? This doesn't have that.
Mm-mm.
This doesn't have the I'll call it the Western Red Bull aftertaste. And we've talked about for many years how products have a signature aftertaste to it. Mountain Dew, Monster, and Red Bulls, of course, note of that. It doesn't have that signature Red Bull aftertaste to it, which I actually think is for the better. This is much more smoother. Do you taste vitamins? Yeah, but I think it's because we taste a little bit more vitamin C, and that is not a bad thing at all. I'd say if you could get your hands on this for a reasonable price, this is a go, man. I'm hyped on this. There's not many times where we say, "Bro, we have to out of our way to grab something," and we've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
but we've done it for products that have been domestic, overpaid for it, and it be mediocre as well. Like, for
Now,
example, you remember the I do you remember us grabbing the Ghost OG?
mhm,
It was in the 8-ounce can.
yeah,
I'm not sure how much this cost, but, domestically, I for that Ghost OG, I paid $10 a can plus shipping a damn thing.
price
So, I mean
wise, I'm unsure. I've heard you used to be able to get this on Amazon back in the day, but you can't anymore. Our dear Ma Thai, I know he went on to one of those like exotic drink websites, air quotes, where you specifically go to one of those like drink slash snack
exotic
websites.
snacks.
Yeah, it's one of those websites where you can buy like exotic drinks and snacks from other countries, and they're here in the U.S. Yada yada. So that's where he got this from, and then
Okay,
gave it to
so
us.
I'm gonna say this, if this is from exoticsnacks.com, its retail is $10. Right now, you could buy it for 5.50.
I think that's where he got it from.
So, treat this like champagne, but this is one experience that I will and again, I've tried some finer things, and there's many times where the finer things do not taste as good.
I have been pretty much told by my dear friend that like to treat this as a different kind of Red Bull because the formula is
And
vastly different.
I yes, I have. I've been optimistic. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and there's been many foreign delicacies that taste different for better and worse in some cases. Because everyone's gonna mix and match their own thing. It's just like any recipe, someone's gonna add their own spin on it. Whether if that's sauce in a pasta dish, whether if that's a drink that's made in a different nation. I mean, heck, I've even thought about how is a soda different from another country if it doesn't have corn syrup in it? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm like, "Hey, is it gonna taste fugazi or is it gonna taste like something else?" I know
Ingredients
some
matter.
people that didn't enjoy yeah, I know somebody that didn't enjoy, Coke in France because it was room temperature. And you know us Americans, Coca-Cola at room temperature? Come on. What are we doing? You get what I'm saying?
It is
I
better
ain't
cold.
having it. Are you?
Hell no. I will say I do. I
Yo, Shock, what's going on, man? How you doing? Everything's well, bro. Got Shock in the chat, Teach.
welcome on in, Mr. Shock. I will say I for the price. I wouldn't go out of my way all the time to get these, but I feel like this is a cool experience to try the product from where it originated from, to seeing how it is from the U.S. In general, I think it's a cool experience, and it's interesting to see.
Oh yeah, this is gonna even when this is empty, this is gonna find its way onto the shelf at some point. Gotta keep this around for old time's sake. And speaking of caffeinated alumni shock in the chat, um, fat rip to the inventory. Shock's mango lemonade from G Fuel is unfortunately out of stock, and he has no idea if it will be replenished. Now, we've talked good and bad about G Fuel for the number of years now. And I will just say this Shock has been through the thick and thin of G Fuel. He's absolutely deserved everything that he's worked for. And I will say he's the people's champ, honest to God. And whether if he was part of the show and has his own episode or not, I've always respected him and getting to talk to him just, over the mic and such. He's just generally a good guy. I really do hope that G Fuel, whether if it's just as a nice gesture or a business move, bring back mango lemonade, man. Come on, do it for the people. And I do believe that his flavor it's been a while since I bought a new tub. I think he's the only flavor that doesn't have dye in it.
That is correct.
I still think that's holding up. Ah,
And thank you, Mr.
and
Shock.
yes, I love how you got to witness this as well.
Now, Mr.
Although I
Relly.
do wonder to this day how that mango iced tea would have held up. Shit, you two would have been almost like twins at that point.
That's our typical question. What do you rate it on your scale?
Hmm. As far as the flavor scale for me, hmm. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, regular Red Bull's probably a 4 for me. I think this tastes naturally sweeter. I like the fruitier note. Goes down smooth, no energy drink aftertaste, as they call it. This is a 4.5 for me, respectively.
Um, I would say personally, we're gonna compare this 1 to 1 to regular American Red Bull, not like no sugar, just regular. I would say I would give regular taste wise like a 7.5. I'll give this a 7.75 just because it has a you're right, it has much of a sweeter note on the upfront.
So, I just kinda know this. If I were to it's been a while since I've had a regular Red Bull, but this definitely has sugar in it, so let's call it spade a spade. I know there's regular sugar in this. We could compare it to a regular Red Bull. Go apples to apples or guarana to guarana, whatever you wanna call it. It's just when you take out the carbonation and you get rid of the aftertaste, this is just a better product. Now, is it worth is that worth double or quadruple the price? Uh, maybe not for every day. Maybe for
But
special occasions.
excluding price, would you recommend it to a friend?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you finish it?
God, yeah. I might lose a little sleep because I might finish this tonight. I'm gonna try to keep it for tomorrow, especially since it's in a bottle. But yes.
I'll say, Shock, if you ever want to come on for a part two to go over a bunch of these questions you might get about the changes, we'd love to have you back on again. But now that we have covered the Red Bull and the
Doors open
differences,
anytime, Shock Daddy.
there is another dog in the room that we got to try out tonight that Relly has been waiting to die to try for, which is the Rise Arctic
I
Berry.
always Now, I've always said there's gotta be a blueberry energy drink in the game somewhere. Now, there's been hydrations, there's been, you know, kind of this. It's like, oh, we can't do just blueberry, we can't do just pomegranate, so we're gonna mix them together. Just that sort of thing. But I've been looking forward to this since it was just a Texas exclusive at one point. And again, it's been so weird that me and you haven't been able to find certain products on the shelves. So you being the Michigan man that, all you Youpers seem to find everything before us, but yet the one can that we've been trying to review for a couple months, you still haven't found it? The Bang Sour Ropes.
Nope.
Jesus, man.
I mean, but I've also been told
And
jokingly that it's for the better.
I mean, where if it's for the better or not, dude. I could name you 10 products on this show that we've tried in can that will be worse than that, and I haven't even tried it yet. I mean, be honest with me.
Hmm.
I think we could all name them, especially the one that tastes like divorce.
Now, I sent Relly 2 Rise cans. We'll try the other one out next week. I'm also very eager to hear his review on that. He was sent the Arctic Berry, which we'll be trying tonight, and then he was sent Cherry Limeade as well. And Relly's a big fan of
Yep.
Cherry Limeade.
Yes, yes.
Without further ado,
Although, hot take, I wonder if Ghost makes the worst cherry limeade because of its inconsistencies.
I don't know, but we did cover that Ghost is no longer going to have collabs with a good part of many businesses. But there's a heavy big rumor that Ghost is going to make a Dr. Pepper collab because they're now owned by Dr. Pepper Keurig. So
But again, I think they're gonna just reskin all that stuff instead, and they're just gonna give it different,
yeah, I think they reskin and go the
names.
generic version of them.
So so again, there's this Shock, I'm not sure if you were around for last episode, but so Ghost Energy or Ghost Lifestyle, whichever you wanna go with, they have a flavor that was officially collabed with Swedish Fish. They had it in powder and they had it in can, licensed trademark. So that was a good selling flavor. Me personally, I don't care for it, but for them, it was a good selling flavor. So we have G Fuel in powder and can called Raging Gummy Fish. So if Ghost was going to try and come up with this somehow generic name, I wonder what it would be. Because when it comes to G Fuel and, just their department over the years, they've gotten away with trying to name things. Like, remember you couldn't do Peeps because you couldn't get the collab, or maybe they didn't want to do the collab? It was called Generic Marshmallow Birds, and everyone laughed and said, "Let's try it." And it ended up being good. That was good, and even Ty enjoyed it, and he's picky. He's got that sweet tooth, you know? So, what would Ghost ever name the generic, Swedish fish? Would it just be called Ghost Redfish?
Probably, it'd probably just be like, yeah, something, something of the sort. But without further
Eyes
ado,
freeze on me? Oh, there you go.
Arctic Berry by Rise.
I'm not sure about the smell, homie.
It smells like very blueberry.
Hmm.
Weird, funny enough, it reminds me of like a blueberry Gatorade by the smell.
Maybe that's why I'm smelling.
I think that's it.
All right. Cheers.
Salute.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hmm. I mean, it literally just tastes like carbonated cool blue Gatorade.
I don't know if I would go that far, but it's definitely just a straight
That's what I
solid blueberry.
get blueberry at the end, but on the first end, I get cool blue Gatorade. And, when it comes to Gatorades, you gotta do the actual name because there's so many different color variations.
But you bring up a funny point with this one that like doesn't normally happen with a lot of their ones. Is that this flavor is kind of lighter on the inhale, the first sip, and then as you start to get it back down more, you get like more of a punch of blueberry when it's on the tail end.
Well, yeah, because I taste Gatorade, and then after you swallow, you taste blueberry, which is so odd. I'm a little disappointed, honestly.
I'm not disappointed. I did expect it to have
I
a little
am.
bit more of a punch, but I'm not disappointed because the flavor profile is right and it's done well.
Hmm.
But honestly,
Yes,
though,
indeed.
if you were to think of anybody else to do a really good blueberry, who else would you think of? And I think Rise is a good company to make a blue canned blueberry, a good blue canned blueberry.
Um, Honestly, you can argue just simply because they did it before. Gorilla Mind did a blueberry. Did a. It's a blue can. It's a mixed berry, but it's kind of like predominantly blueberry in my opinion.
Gotcha.
So if they've done it, I can see Ghost doing it. If G Fuel ever got back in the can game consistently, I think they can do it. I've always said G Fuel should have a blueberry powder. Glitch did have a blueberry predominant powder, but that's no longer around.
They do have a new one now.
Which one?
Drop Zone.
To me that's more grape.
See, I get more
I
blueberry.
get most,
I
and ironically, to me that tastes like grape Gatorade. Drop zone. I don't know.
honestly though, I don't think it tastes like great Gatorade, cool personally, but I feel like that alone. I feel like that alone to say it's like, hey, go try Drop Zone. If you like grape Kool-Aid or grape like Gatorade, you'll like this. Like that already should be enough to sell someone because grape Gatorade is goated. Let's just be real.
Yes, 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 yes. Also, shock in the chat. G Fuel could do so many candy collabs. There's one thing I wanted to ask him since he's already here. And because if you've noticed, there's been a couple of anime and gaming related collabs, mostly anime. Um, it's between Dragon Ball Z and Jujutsu Kaisen. Have you noticed how the collabs seem to go on and off between Gamer Subs and G Fuel?
I think that's just all the time of what brand gets the licensing or what brand comes to them for the IP wise. And I don't think,
The window's up, we go here, that
yep,
window's up, there's a little
yep,
space in between. Because if you remember the Dragon Ball with, G Fuel, there's 2 phases of it. There was the big thing, Plugs Joey gave you the box set, if you remember.
I
There
still
was the
have it.
comic flavor. Then the V2 was it was the it had the mini tub of the blackberry tea, and there was the lemonade reskin, the battle juice reskin, and I forget the other flavor, but no matter. I
Now,
thought it was very
I
good on that end.
again, Shock, if you'd love to come on the show again, we'd love to have you because I don't want everybody in the chat to just be up shock right now. Like, if the man wants to be here to enjoy the show, let him. Don't put him under fire to defend all of G Fuel's questions we
A
might ever have.
a abs Absolutely, and, Shock, of course, deserves the floor without needing to having to be, constant guard up to be a PR man just because, I mean, again, I understand and I appreciate that it's under this new phase because it's, new ownership and all these things are going to take time, and there's gonna be some experimenting where on paper, people believe that things work, but then a community or a fan base or just the customers just might have different results and it might just go out of whack. Like, for example, just recently, apparently there's I forget the name of it, but there was a partner manager for a gaming organization. He was supposed to buy it, and at the last second, the floor was pulled underneath him and it was sold to somebody else. And he said, okay, since that happened, I quit effective immediately. Some people left with him. And now the owner is going, what do I do? What just happened? Because again, when you have something like a gaming org, right? Which, if you're not outside of maybe 20 organizations all throughout the world, easily to say you're broke, right? Each
Sure.
outside like 20 gaming orgs, you're probably broke.
Probably, sure.
So if you're dependent on, let's say, merch, you're like, Diane, why are we low on jersey sales on this quarter? Did you release anybody? Did you assume that you were going to make money? Look at all these organizations that go bankrupt. How'd you know that wasn't sold just for you to take the fall?
Now,
It seems like we see it every single month.
to back it up and reel it back into the original topic we had, Arctic Berry Rise. What do you rate it?
3 out of 5.
Three
Can't go
out
any
of
higher.
five. Really, with the 3 out of 5 on a blueberry flavor, and this man loves blueberry, and he has wanted a blueberry flavor for the longest time. 3 out of 5. I was not expecting. I was for sure like a 3.5, which would be your lowest.
I thought this was gonna be a lock, man, but to me, if I want thank God I didn't go out of my way for this because the disappointment would be even higher.
So I didn't go out
Because
of
if
my
I
way, so you don't
want
have to worry.
I got a Soda Stream. I'll put this in the Soda Stream, man. Like, what are we doing?
I'd give it a 7.5. Would you recommend it to a friend?
I don't know.
Really? You think it's that? You think you believe it to be that bad? You wouldn't recommend it to a friend?
It's not bad. It's just I'm not sure if I wanna recommend mediocrity.
Could you finish it?
Oh, I'll finish it, yes. But at the same time, just like when I remember I was talking to this nice woman and we were trying to discuss, dating arrangements, and she wanted to go to this place, and I'm like, she wanted to go out for some drinks, and I'm like, "I'm not a drinker. How's the food?" And she goes, "It's okay, I guess." And I'm like, "Okay, so it sucks. Great. You wanna go out there because you're gonna see your people, but you're gonna just tell me that essentially you're telling me don't order the food. Mediocre, we're going somewhere else." It's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully you don't
I'm
have
not
that
sure if
same
I'm
reaction to cherry
recommending the
limeade.
acronym. Better not. Better not. But if you look at the last couple of Rise products that have actually been released, right? There was the grape,
Kool-Aid,
the grape Kool-Aid.
not bad.
Wasn't a fan.
It was okay.
I wasn't a fan. Then there was another one. It was another red can. Was it another Kool-Aid collab?
No, you're thinking the strawberry.
The strawberry was okay.
Well, I haven't had it.
The grape I did not care for. I don't know. It's just that if you go by the last couple of Rise products, I guess they've missed the mark on my end.
I'll say because the last few before there was also like the green sour strips, which was good. Cotton candy, which was good.
Good. Very good. I mean, we had the Rise cotton candy as one of the cans of the year last yearly wrap-up show.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's in high regard. I mean, this can't even hold the candle to the cotton candy. Now again, this could be a Monster, this could be a Red Bull, this could be a brand I've never heard of. I'm just not high on it. I think that's fair. And if somebody said, "Hey, Relly, I'm grabbing a Rise. What flavor do I grab?" I'm gonna say, "Okay, what's your flavor profile?" Or better yet, if it's just anything, grab the cotton candy. Grab one of the sours. Grab the Kool-Aid. The regular Kool-Aid, that is. Grab the Baja. I mean, come on. This is kind of weak. Weak in the lineup. This is riding the bench. I'm sorry.
And then you were also sent cherry limeade by Rise, and then you were also sent some glitch samples for us to review. A few of them even I haven't had. A
Yep.
few of them you haven't had.
You haven't really.
Yeah, like one of them that
Okay,
I sent
so
you that I haven't had yet. Is the new Zombie Stomp cherry limeade.
you haven't tried Movie Stomp.
I've been waiting
Huh.
for you because you're the cherry limeade guy, waiting for you to try it. I really
And
you
this
got
is
first
one
dip.
scoop of
You got first dips. 2 scoops in every bag. 2 scoops in every bag, but the glitch fam one.
no.
The glitch fam one is the
I
only
was
one that
about to
has
say the
one
Glitch
scoop.
Fam I can understand why.
You got my very last scoop of that,
Also,
my boy.
no shit. Is
Yeah,
it that
shit.
good?
You got my very last scoop.
No
And I
kidding.
did get confirmation it was a peach pom or a peach apricot.
Peaches.
And then I
Peaches.
also sent you BBO, Bunny Berry
Ah,
Oasis.
I saw that. I saw.
Not to
Oh,
be
by the
confused with
way.
BBL or BBW.
By the way, I was at a skate event yesterday,
I saw
which
that.
so what happened was,
What happened was
before that, I had time. I was trying to film an ad. I was trying to film doing something over, the tub, but then, 2 things. 1, it was very windy, and then secondly, this dog right next to where I was doing just kept barking, and it was a house next to the schoolyard I was trying to film at. And anytime that I got 10 feet near the camera, just would not stop yapping, and I'm just trying to, like, focus, and then I tried to do, another edit of something else, and it was just beat. But then I went to the event, I ended up doing, being a referee for a couple dozen games of skate and announced the winner and such. But thankfully, I ran into one of the skate buddies of mine, he's actually got some pretty good, hookups, man, like, one of them is Get W, that deodorant brand from Jake Paul. Yeah, he actually won a
even
contest with him.
didn't even know he had a deodorant brand.
Yeah, I didn't know until he told me he won a contest and started getting it's basically like think about Axe, but it's under the Paul brothers. It's like that cheap ass star with the W in it for the logo. It's really something.
Hmm. The more you know.
Let's see. Question update for Shock. What do you guys think is the number one selling powder energy drink at the moment? If we were to go by brand, what do you think it is? Number one selling energy drink powder.
I think the answer is already there. Next question, next topic.
Basically, we still think it's G Fuel.
Unsure, but I think the answers are already out there. So you already know who your top dogs are. You can already tell who the sales are. The answer's already out there.
Yeah, it's basically G
Yeah, so
Fuel, even though
it's
that
not a
they
subjective
yeah.
question. It's a statistical question. The answers are out there.
Yeah, that's kinda still factual at this
Subjective would
point.
be who do you think is number one best tasting? That's a whole different question. Best selling, that's all who has the most VTubers, who has the most lewd, or who has the most gamer, degen, controversy, all that stuff's there.
Well, it's definitely those 2. It's
I,
definitely those 2.
the big dogs haven't changed much in this industry, and the only thing that has really changed, and let's be honest, is that you have a lot more of the smaller dogs coming up and trying to be big dogs, but your big dogs are still the top dogs. And
Well,
the
just
ones
keep
that
in
are
mind,
messing
right?
up need to stop.
Well, also keep in mind, right, there's a couple years ago where they did the top 4 most consumed energy drinks at TwitchCon. It was Red Bull, Monster, G Fuel, then Advanced GG. As far as Advanced GG goes, I I think it's really taken a hit the last couple of years, man. I think Gamer Subs has definitely replaced Advanced GG in the top 4. I don't think there's any shred of a doubt.
I mean, he did ask powder, so I don't consider Monster Red Bull there, but it's your same ones because Advance has taken a big hit, Gamer Subs has taken a big hit because of their controversies, G Fuel's taken a
Did I
big
lose
hit
you?
because of all their
Or
rebranding
did
and
you lose
even some of
me?
their
Something?
stuff. What? So
Oh, did I lose you?
no,
Or did you lose me? Something?
no.
I guess my screen froze for a moment. But yeah, man, it those are definitely the top 2, and it's very easy to just tank, man, because, one PR stunt, or if you don't have a good product out there, or if you try with gimmicks, it don't work. Like, Advanced GG's trying these vitamin gimmicks, it's not working, in my opinion. And you saw last episode with their new Joe Rogan crapola.
The
Like,
same
sorry,
big
but it's just not
the
working.
same big three are still doing their things, but they are taking more hits, I would say, than gaining better traction.
I mean, again, you don't know go by revenue and such, but you could
The
just tell, like,
the numbers aren't public, but it's one of those like let's be for real. You can tell who are the big dogs in the industry.
yes,
Still there, they're all there.
yes.
Numbers not to be public, but who you think is number one is like the number one to that. It would be more of a statistical than a subjective. Really could think G Fuel is number one, but if GamerSup was truly the number one by sales, I would say the sales matter more than not.
I think we have the 1 and 2, and then everything else is kind of a guessing game. I think that's kinda fair.
The market has definitely slowed down. We have seen this a lot, and it's been shown by many different companies. I mean, hell, even look at G Fuel. They've backed out of the can game a lot. We've seen it for a long time now. They've backed away from making new cans. They've backed away from making new canned flavors. All of the above. You have other companies
Not
trying
only
to make
that,
new products, and some of them just aren't taking off as I would think that they are.
yeah, I mean, it's so hard to change and it's so hard to expand, and there's some people where, do you wanna add a flavor to a certain line you have? Because there was a long time where certain brands were only doing energy and not hydration, or if they did hydration, they only had 3 flavors. I think we remember when G Fuel only had 3 hydration flavors, and we could say the same for, Gamer Supps. But now Gamer Supps, it's like caffeine or non-caffeine, which one you want?
I mean, I've always gave GamerSubs credit for coming out with like let's say a flavor and then a flavor they make caffeine and non-caffeine. I respect that. I think it's great to make one with caffeine and one without because not everybody can have caffeine. So I respect you creating both kinds. But what I would truly
Oh, I
say,
sure, I
um,
agree.
I would more how do I word this?
I know, it's definitely tough.
I will put it best to it this way. I think the bigger point is that while yes, the market has slowed down in many means, I kind of feel like every brand has lost the identity of why these brands came to be.
Indeed.
Because for me, and I feel like this goes for many, and this goes for many companies, right? It feels like long, long ago, the big message pushed for whether it's Glitch, G Fuel, Advance, whoever. I feel like the big message so way long ago, and especially with G Fuel's way long ago, because it got me to switch to them 12 years ago. Getting away from canned energy drink and drinking more water. Here's a better alternative to caffeine with water. Consume more water. Live a better, healthier lifestyle. I feel like many have gotten away from that. That felt like that
I
was always
mean,
like the big thing.
yes. Originally, you were trying to get away from carbonation, substitute the coffee, substitute the soda. I know you found a Mountain Dew substitute. G Fuel was my Red Bull substitute, and we met not too far away from that later. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have our needs. And I feel like as if you want to expand, it's really hard because there's some people that want to try new lines, some people want to try new flavors. I think we've get reached a point where collectibles aren't really a thing anymore for certain brands. Like if G Fuel came up with another lunchbox tomorrow, I'm not sure if it would sell out off the shelves in 3 hours. 3 years ago, yeah, it would. Now, no.
Yep. I think every brand has had their explosion. I think every brand has had their highs. I think the market's just in a low, but I think that's a market as a whole. I don't think that's just energy. I think that's just the economy.
I think I mean, there's some people that think, when they called it COVID money. They said once the COVID money ran out that things were going to drop off.
I mean, I could see that.
Some people move, some people found out collecting is not their thing anymore. There's so many variations, and I feel like every single brand will have a big explosion, and then it just comes down to what do you do after that?
I will say this one though, and
Some
I
people
find
say
this
you
funny.
have prime years. I don't know.
So anybody in the audience can happily prove me wrong if you are a diehard caffeinated fan. Uh, Relly and I tried a product, I think within the first 30 episodes of the show. And that product, I do believe, is the lowest rated powder we have ever tried. I do believe it to be the lowest rated energy powder we have tried on the show. That, of course, we rated and reviewed. That company now no longer exists. That company closed down.
Did you delete the tweet about that? Or would that slip my mind?
I think that one slipped your mind.
I thought I mentioned Wildcat in a tweet asking if it was still around, and I got nothing back.
I don't recall that one,
I'm
but
not sure if it went through because Twitter's weird. So, for those that are wondering, right? Because there's always these brands that are influencer based, and if you are a big YouTuber, if you're Wildcat, let's say, right? Wildcat's always had a couple of underlying companies. Now, there's this one point in time where I just couldn't process this because there's 3 energy drink companies that had Glitch within the name. You have Glitch with the Y, the real company, the one that's behind Teach Daddy, the big wall. You had the I brand, Glitch I by Wildcat. And then on top of it, you have G Fuel collab with Spider-Man, which, has the big Sony behind it doing Glitch Mix. And I'm like, I'm sorry. If I'm the PR team, if I'm the attorney around there, I'm trying to go to the package store and grab myself a bottle of something something because this could get ugly. It turned out nothing had something. And I do remember going into the Glitch Eye Company YouTube and somebody commented, "What's the difference?" And the response was, "We are the real Glitch Company." I'm sorry, this is the same company where if you click the link in their bio, the URL is available for sale. It does not process. It's not available anymore. And dude, they tried. They had a peach rings flavor. They had a greens line. They put a energy, a hydration, and a greens line. I mean, dude, clearly this just did not work out. And we've seen a couple energy drink companies go under. We've seen one come back. Maw came back, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Juju, rest in peace.
Yep. Recipes
And
Juju.
now we have another energy drink powder company going under. Well, I mean, again, right? I think we've noticed a few things doing this show for so many years. One, one mascot or one influencer cannot make a brand. For example, I think we could agree even G Fuel by itself, PewDiePie couldn't do it alone. Is that fair?
I don't know if I can answer it that much. It definitely takes a lot
Well,
more, but PewDiePie also has a name by himself that he could just sell a product by slapping his name on it. So
I
I don't know if that's a
understand, but it
fair
couldn't be
expression.
as okay, it can't be as big as it is now. Having the warehouse it is now by PewDiePie just by himself, in my opinion.
Oh no, by
Because
himself,
if you look
no.
at the because if you looked at the prime guys behind him at one point, you know, you got Shock, you got Ninja, XQC, you had all these guys, just the Face Clan as a whole down the line. I just don't think that you could maintain it just by PewDiePie alone. Wildcat, dude, I think you were the only guy affiliated with there outside Panda with one flavor.
No, 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 no,
You
no.
can't do it alone.
Really, he wasn't partnered or affiliate.
Or that was his company, whatever.
His company, he was owner.
So you can't just have one guy be the head of the company and this is my brand, sign one guy up for one flavor and just call it. I just don't think that's the way to operate. Now, do I think that a an influencer or a partner could shift companies and somebody could go with him? Oh yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it. Like for instance, right? If XQC went to Advanced GG tomorrow, there'd be a lot of people going with him easily. Make the juice. There's a lot of people that are going to be transferring. That's just how it goes. I mean, technically speaking, you kind of converted me. I only
But
got 3 tubs at work. 2 of them are glitch, and one of them is the rest of the half of the G Fuel Stone Mountain Peach Mango.
that was definitely
Yeah.
interesting to learn recently. And it looks like it's been quite some time because they hadn't had like a new tweet or anything since last July. And I know they were like slowly dwindling on stock until it was all out, and now the website's unavailable. So
I mean, dude, I mean, how much I mean, come on, man. Like, you couldn't have rented someplace. Like, you couldn't rent somebody's storage room. Like, have the work in yourself. You know what I mean? If you say you make this amount of money, find a family member and just be like, hey, I need you to send some boxes out for me and I'll pay you a couple of bucks. I mean, did he get too big for his shoes or I don't know how that worked, but and it's like one of those things where it's just kind of like, who's buying? And we've tried samples from them multiple times. We tried the first 2 flavors. I tried 2 more flavors of them sample-wise, and it's just the lights are on, but nobody's home. And the one ingredient I found out is the dynamine, at least in powder, doesn't work. Like, for instance, when I was at that event, my buddy Ryan, he actually is affiliated with Bucked Up, and I had no idea about this until we were cleaning up. Well, he left a whole case of Bucked Up, and there were 2 cans left. I ended up having that this morning. It was exactly what you wanted years ago in Miami Nights.
what? No coconut?
Yep, just straight up pineapple strawberry. It was called Miami Vice. Miami, no coconut. This was right up your alley. 5-star can, brother. Exactly what you wanted. Say the least, I was impressed. And the fact that it was so good and so sweet and it had dynamine on it, it said on the can, very impressed because dynamine's supposed to make everything bitter. But again, Glitch with the Eye was just not a good product, man. It shouldn't curdle in your stomach after the first couple sips. It shouldn't do that. You remember that.
Mm-hmm. I do remember feeling sick.
I almost got yeah, I almost got a freaking hammer because of that.
And there is video proof of all of this, so go find it if you don't believe it.
I mean, we got receipts around somewhere about your ma threatened to bought me with a hammer.
We've got a million
Not
receipts. That's what we've been telling people. There's a million receipts out there. If you really want it, go find it.
yes, there's a bunch of receipts. And there's always a lot of testing and a lot of constructive criticism. Like,
A lot.
heck, I even tried something for to see if Ty would like it, and I epically failed. I tried mixing the neon sugar with just a hint of the sour watermelon, and it was inedible.
Hmm.
I tried to see if I could recreate the
Sour Patch
glitch version of
Watermelon.
Flavor Bomb.
Oh, okay.
Hey, gone. Nope. It was a waste of freaking powder.
But
No
otherwise,
kidding.
that's a good spot to end on episode 154. We finally came back and got to try Thailand Red Bull. So that's
Yes.
interesting.
Oh, one more thing. Did you try this?
No, I have not gotten that one yet.
Okay, so if I had to tell you and Recon about how this would be, if I had to compare it to grenades, you'd probably say that grenades is a little bit more candied in comparison to this. This is a little bit more
Fruity.
sour or tart than I thought about. I thought this was gonna be more of a red, like a golden delicious apple, or maybe like a honey crisp or Gaja apple something. This is definitely because you know how like there's red that are sweet, the yellow's in the middle, and then there's the green that's the bitter
Mm-hmm.
tart, whatever. This is somewhere maybe on like the yellow green apple range,
Okay.
if I had to describe it.
I still am
It's
eager
not
to try it,
sour,
so
it's a little tart. Yes. I gotta get your box together sometime, and I gotta send you a little bit of this, and hopefully this time you actually like these because I mean, I know that every single tub is not meant for everybody. Like I know strawberry banana is not suitable for some. I know dragon fruit's not suit for some. And let's see, in the BOGO it was this drop zone peach iced tea and peach iced tea and something else. I forget what it was. I think it was a re-up on something. But anywho, I think that's a good way to leave off. So again, this is the prize for tonight. No, it's not Robitussin. It's good stuff. And with that, that said, everybody, a big shout out to a big supporter of the program, Barbara Russo. Hopefully, she's in good health. Everybody, say hello to your friends and family. Make sure you check up on them. Take care. Brush your hair like Teach needs to do every morning now, Mr. Handsome. And drink your freaking water because it's getting hot outside. So help me God, please. That'd be great. So, take it easy, everybody. And we out.